What's up, guys? It's been a hot minute since I posted anything. Today at our locals, we actually did a Time Wizard format for GOAT. I think we had around like between 20 to 25 people show up. Was a bit more than I was expecting. Saw a lot of familiar faces, saw a lot of faces of people I haven't seen in a long time. Overall, it was a good experience. Really excited to do alternate formats again. With Splight and Tier Elements coming out, I think things are going to get boring pretty quickly. So this was a nice way to break up advanced format for now. But yeah, so I got third. We were actually given first, second, and third place trophies and some OTS packs and stuff. So it was well worth the time. But yeah, so I played semi-standard Chaos. Did not play a Metamorphosis build, but we'll start with one ofs. Played the one Serpent, obviously, because it's a one tribe. Sangan. Had a really funny matchup with Relinquished Control. They took this and I just heavied everything, and I was like, oh, so yes, I will also search the Breaker. And then for the Chaos package, we played the 1 BLS and 2 Chaos Orcs. Just BLS is BLS, and Sork is a pseudo BLS. Just in the grind game, BLS is crazy, especially when you're fearing the back row and you're just kind of setting on BLS, and you know they still have Mirror Force, or you know they play Sax, so you're just constantly spot removing. It's just an insane card. That's it for the one-ofs in the Chaos package. So we're playing Triple Thunder Dragon because it's a light. And then our flip package, we're playing a couple of pairs. We're playing 2 Faiths, 2 Spies, 2 Assailants. You'll see later on that I went for the Wing Blast build instead of the Raigeki break, just because top decking someone's BLS and them having limited access to lights or darks depending on the grave, it can really just shut them out of the game. Top decking a continuously dead card. Night Assailant overperformed. I grabbed so many Faiths back. I looped it a few times with itself. It's a great card. Spy, I think I drew 2 Spies at least twice. I'm pretty sure I pot of greeted into the other one. It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then the only one we played at 3 was the Train. Train draws cards. Train good. Actually normal summoned it a few times just to push for damage. Good card. Drawing cards, it's nice. For spells, the Trinity. This card ended up making me lose in top 4 because it was the only card I saw, and I kept looping it with Magician of Faith, and also drew into Trap Dust Sheets. Tragic. We played the Card Destruction, Snatch, MST, Heavy, and we played 1 book in the main. No Premature. I think Premature is kind of trash. Yes, it comes up, but ideally, I feel like if you play right, or at least play your odds correctly, I feel like you don't need it. Like, yes, obviously Premature and Fabulous is kind of crazy, but at the same time, I don't feel like you should really be in a position, if you're playing the game properly, to need that. For the pairs, we're playing 2 Upstart because drawing cards. Double Nobleman because it's good. Then we're on to the traps. I play Mirror Force and Torrential at 1. I don't main ring. I don't play Call the Haunted. Don't play bottomless. I feel like these are just the most impactful. And this card's insane. Wing Blast, just forcing your opponent to top deck, especially in the matchups where you're playing versus like stun or burn decks that really need time to set up. You just bounce those like level limits back and you really just punish it. I played against my buddy who's playing like arguably my favorite deck, Clown Control. Just being able to reset his level limit and push for what I needed or reset the stumbling was really good. And the reason we're not playing Ring, we're playing Double Judgment. I do not side the third. Ideally, with Judgment, I'm just trying to stop the crazy stuff from happening. There were like niche moments where like I Judgmented a Pot of Greed because that was the only card they had. But I Judgmented a BLS summon at least twice. In the same that Clown Control matchup, MST'd his stumbling, which would have opened the game up to be closed out. He Judgmented the MST, and I Judgmented the Judgment, and then he Judgmented my Judgment. But then I believe it was Heavy Storm in my hand, so it didn't really matter. Good times. And the only card we play at 3 for traps, Jar. Jar's crazy. Going first or second, because if they're playing Dust Tornado, they're going to blow it up 100% of the time, right? Not being able to chain back is very good for them, but I baited a heavy with 2 of these, so it was Pot of Greed for me, and he wasted a Heavy Storm. And it's always the looming threat of it being something useful, like a Mirror Force. Altogether with this, you know, Pot, Graceful, I mean, you're basically playing like a 30-card deck. It's, and yeah, the Upstarts, yeah, it's crazy. This card is one of my favorite cards in GOAT format right now. A lot of people think it's underwhelming, but I literally don't want to play a deck without it. And then on to the sideboard. So playing a bunch of 1-ofs in the sideboard. Playing the Mobius for the burn, the back row, the stall, the sided in versus Clown Control, didn't see it. Sided it in, I think, only in 1 match. Suki only, I sided this in versus the Relinquished Control deck. I played against Monarch Chaos top 4, the Monarch Chaos Recruiter. Puts in work. It outs all the Monarchs. It's just insane. The Relinquished matchup, it just nets so much advantage because you're always just getting rid of their stuff. Played the Sura Priest. This only went in versus the deck's playing Scapegoat, so round 1 was like a Chaos Turbo with Metamorphosis, and he's playing Goats. So this went in, I didn't really see it. Lost that match. I played the 2 Death Wombats because as an avid burn player, I respect the burn matchup. Unfortunately, didn't actually play against any burn, so I didn't get to side it in. Cypher Soldier, I didn't play against any warrior, but I did side it in the Clown Control matchup just because Dream Clown is a warrior. He read the card and hit me with the surprise Pikachu face. For spells, the only ones I sided was the 2nd Book of Moon and 1 Giant Tree Node. No specific reason, just for the 1 other than space. I would have played 3 if I had the space. But I felt like 1 worked fine with the way that I like to play the game. Once I saw it, I just started kind of accommodating for the next couple of turns. It went in a couple of matchups. It was definitely MVP when it resolved, though. For the traps, 2 1-ofs, the Cylinder and the Ring. Ring itself is just... This is more so if your opponent's playing Judgments. Basically, once they Judgment once and they're at 4K, this and this together is game. If they even like go into BLS or if they go into Sork, it really punishes the judgment players, like myself. But I did Magic Cylinder in round 2 or 3. Round 2, yes. Played against Zoo. We had a really good match. Game 1, I got down to 100 life, and I finally got into a light monster. Ended up sweeping the game. I had like double judgment at 100 life. Good times. But Magic Cylinder for game when it actually mattered. The ring just kind of pops BLS. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that's the main target you want to hit with ring. It got sighted in, going first a couple times, but really didn't find myself wanting to play it that much. I feel like with the Sorks and the BLS, you kind of deal with everything you need to deal with, and plus you have Night Assailant plus the Wing Blast. And for the same reason we're not playing Raigeki Break, is like you're giving them a light target in the grave, you're giving them a dark target in the grave. Like, just put that on top of the deck and be done with it. And the last 4 cards are 2 pairs. I played 2 Dust Shoot, came back to bite me. Double sack. Didn't side this in at all. No Warriors. Top cut, top 4. Was playing against the Chaos Recruiter Monarch build. Opened duo. My hand was kind of trash, so I had like a Magician of Faith duo. And I kind of just wanted to play a slow game because he was playing Soul Exchange, so I didn't want to like set the Faith and lose the Faith too. So I just passed with 6 cards in hand. And he draws for turn, and he duos me, and he rips like 2 of the bricks in my hand out. So next turn I duo him, set the Faith, and I hit a Soul Exchange with the duo, so that's the only reason I set the Faith. And then the next 2 turns I drew into Dust Shoots. Well, his hand was already, committed to the board because he knew I had Faith and didn't want to, get loot with the duo. So I ended up losing in game 3 of, top 4 because of this card. It is what it is. It's a dual-edged blade. It's good when it's good, and it's trash whenever they don't have 4 cards in hand. But overall, so it performed pretty well. No real complaints. I was prepared for matchups that I just didn't see. Just kind of is what it is. Sometimes that happens. The biggest thing, I think, is it was just extremely fun to sit around and play GOAT with the guys. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Really looking forward to playing some more alternate formats. As much as I love Burning Abyss, and I love Punk, and I love Pendulum, it's nice to get back to the roots and play quote-unquote interactive Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, maybe subscribe. I'll start trying to put out more content other than Master Duel. Because that's a whole nother issue.